Okay, so what's up? Okay, so I'm being guided to do a big reading. So we're going to start off with the subconscious oracles. So for whomever, what's up? Okay, so so this is somebody on the outside of you, and this person is fully aware of what I don't know yet. So let's see. What are the messages for whomever it may concern? What are the messages for whomever it may concern? What are the messages? Okay, so you have recently ascended and it was a struggle to get there, but you have gotten there. Okay, what you are unaware of. So let me just pull these cards. So reversals are going to represent what you are aware of. So you are aware that it was a struggle for you to get to your ascension, to get to your climax or your peak of healing, evolution, ascension. Okay, so what you are unaware of is that there is an emotional purge that is coming soon. Okay, so there may be things you may feel pent up energy within your body. A lot of it may have to do with like your back. Um, it's crazy because I had to purge the day before yesterday, and I just finished doing a reading for somebody else who has, purge. So for you, it's kind of like me personally, it's like I have been seeing what you are about to experience. Okay. So there's going to be an emotional purge. This purge is going to it's like growth, right? So there are emotions and feelings that you are pushing down, that you have pushed down for a long time, you have suppressed. You know, you may have tried to navigate your feelings and emotions with using your logic, okay? But, when it comes to feelings and emotions, that is something that you need to feel because feelings come and go. You cannot control how you feel. But you can control how you respond or how you act. Emotion, energy, emotion. Okay? So, a lot of people when they feel things, they act from that place of feeling. Okay? So, it's like instant. So but what most people don't understand is that, let's say you don't feel good about something or you're angry about something and you act from that place. Well, you're conditioning yourself to be that type of a person who lacks discipline, a person who lacks self-control, somebody who doesn't take a moment to stop, reflect, and think about what's going on with them first before they make a move. Okay, so you are about to go through, like a ego death, a transformation of creating new patterns within the way in which that you think. Okay. And this tells me that you're going to be closing out and clearing out old cycles. So if you think about it, it's like your body and your spirit, your physical and your spirit body is your temple. So this is cleaning house. You're cleaning the house of so let me do something for you. Okay, so what we're going to go in and do, what I'm going to do is, if there's any spell work, any hexes, curses, being sent to you during this time, or if you have some type of curse over you, then we're going to blow it away. Okay, so the thing is that when I finish doing all of this, you're going to want to open up a window to release the energy. Okay, so once we cleanse that, hold on. Okay, so now that we have broken and removed, what we're going to do is assist out the negative energy. So we're going to burn this bay leaf. And remember, you want to open up a window or open up a door. Okay, so that bay leaf is going to burn any negative energy as well. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to come in and cleanse the space. Right, we're going to clear out your space with the sage. right? So what the sage is going to do, the sage is going to cleanse the environment so that, you know, you're providing a space for your angels to come in. Okay. So now what we're about to do, now we're going to go in. So we're going to go in with the home cleansing, and I'm going to set the intentions for the physical body, the spirit body, as well as your environment. Okay, so we're going to work this together. Okay. So once you have opened up an exit for the unwanted not to come in, let me do it myself. Okay. So now we allow it to leave. So now what we're going to do with the Palo Santos, we are going to let the spirit guides know that we are safe. It is safe now for you to come in. It is safe for you to house this space. It is safe for you to connect with me. Okay, only the spirit guides that are for your highest and greater good. Okay, and usually I would walk around with my sound bowl. Okay, but I'm not being guided to do that. So all right, and there we go. So I'm gonna close the door. Standing in the rain, purple rain, purple rain. Okay, so I'm going to get into talking about this outside person, but we're going to talk about you first. Okay, so after you go through this purge, you're going to realize how much growth you have overcome, but at the same time, how much growth you have to do. Okay, so it's a process. Allow your process. Be patient with your process. Try to be optimistic, because you're going to realize, like, you know what, I'm doing a lot better than what the fuck I thought I was doing. But then you're going to realize, like, because you may have been doing the work, you may have been working on yourself, and you may feel as if you're at a point to where, you're there, but you're going to come to realize that you still have a ways to go. So, with the burden card here, you have burden. Okay, I don't know if somebody in your life is a burden and you're going to come to realize that they are a burden. I don't know if you are going to feel burdened by the future ahead, you know. But my thing is that you have spiritual assistance. Okay, somebody on the outside, all this person's cards, they're all in reverse. This person is aware, and they are aware of what is about to happen for you and what you are about to go through. So you have inner journey. Okay, they know that you're on your inner journey. They're probably taking some type of inner journey of their own. The two of you, it's like you're doing it together. You're just on different levels. So this could be twin flame. Okay, so grounding. This person understands and they know how important it is to ground themselves. Okay, which means spiritually, energetically, emotionally charging. That's what grounding does. It charges you back up. Okay. So, reunion of souls, right? So, the two of you are in union with each other. So, they are more ahead and aware. Okay. So, you're not doing it alone. You didn't do it alone. You have hit a major peak, a major climax, and to you, you're thinking, that's it. I've done what I had to do. I feel like you was initiated in something too. So you got some pretty extreme things going on. In the first reading, somebody, they went through their Kundalini awakening. but the Kundalini awakening sent them into a dark night of the soul. So that individual is coming out of the dark night of the soul. So you might be going through that as well. Okay. It's kind of like, oh, have I not taken enough? Have I not put in enough work or put in the effort? Blah 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 blah. You'll come to understand. You know, the more in depth you tap into you, you will understand more. And the further you go, when you reflect and look back, you will understand everything. You will understand why this happened to you in your life. You will understand why you went this way instead of that way. You will come to the understanding, but you have to be patient. It is a process. Okay, so let's get into your higher intuition in case you cannot hear or you are not tapped into your higher self right now. So what are the messages? What are the messages? What's the messages? What does this person's higher self want to communicate to them? Okay, so clarity. So the person on the outside of you has clarity. So synchronicity is going to be bats. Maybe 3 of them flying together. Okay, or maybe 3 birds. But it's really, when it comes to the higher self, it's bats. Okay, so it's kind of like this person may be a bat, but you may be a bird. Okay. So this is twin flame soulmate, because it's like, what do y'all have in common? That y'all both can fly. The only difference is the anatomy, meaning one person is a bat and one person is a bird. Completely different. You know, like birds prefer to sleep at night. Bats are out at night. You know what I'm saying? So it's given polar opposite. But whatever, because this person has the clarity. Okay. So in a position, you have freedom, you have take a chance, you have some future situations. Stretch your neck out, find your voice. Okay, so the reversals are the future, which is stretch your neck out. So right now, your higher self wants you to know that you are free and to explore your freedom. Okay, so this is represented by a horse. Okay, so I hear resilient. You know, there's a resilience about you. There's a strength about you. You know, it's horsepower. You are pure horsepower, whatever that means. You know, you could have a car. Don't they say cars have horsepower? Or did Ford try to compare themselves? I don't know, honey. Is it a Jeep? Is it a truck? I mean, I don't know. Is it a 4-wheeler? What's up? I don't know. But it's something here. So it's kind of like, well, I'm not going to get into all that. Just explore more of your freedom. You are free. You are free in so many ways. You know, but I pick up creativity. So you are free to create your life however you choose. For some, you know, that in itself can mean different ways, but at the same time, we are talking about house cleansing. So I feel like this is like you created a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Um, you may want to create an alternative lifestyle for yourself. You know, you got people out here that's living in tents. You got people out here that's setting up in the woods, building their own fucking homes. You got people who are converting their vans and getting campers and trucks and turning that into living space. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you want to do, okay? It says take a chance. These are starfish. Okay? So I feel like it has something to do with living style. Is that what this is? Right. You live how the fuck you want to live. You know, most people are out here taking chances. You hear some individuals to where, you know, when they live the van life, you know, of course they talk about, oh, the van breaks down and sometimes it's hard to find a place to sleep, and you know, this and that. Okay. So it's like, be forewarned of, you know, certain things that you may run into, certain issues that you may run into within the future. You know, like try to you know, like eliminate the problems by listening to other people's feedback, but don't absorb what they're saying to the point to where you're second guessing what it is that you really want to do with your life. Okay, so your higher self is saying you have the freedom, you have the free time, you have the free space, You have the free range. Okay, take a chance. Okay, so when it comes to find your voice, this is talking about being able to say no. Okay, so maybe if you're trying to create this life with somebody else or this environment, you may have some disagreements, like, say no. Somebody, I'm gonna tell you, people, people crazy. They not really crazy, but they just don't be understanding shit. Because I just picked up a scenario to where there's this guy, and he wants to either build his own tiny home, or he wants to live, like, travel. He wants to live on the road. He wants to, like, live in an RV or some shit. And then there's like this woman to where she's just like, she wants more stability, but she's not saying, and this is not her ideal of life, but obviously this must be her man. So she may feel like she got to do it with him, but she don't. She may try to come up with, like, oh, let me take care of you. Or maybe this man got put out. And with him being away from this woman, he has had so much time to think and reflect and get back to him, you know? So, the woman may come in and she's just like, you could, you need to come stay with me. I can provide you this, I can provide you that. Because I feel like this woman is well off. I feel like her family takes care of her too. You know what I'm saying? So, or maybe they ran into some serious financial hard times, so they have to change how they live. Okay, okay. But my thing is that I feel like you want to travel, you want to see the world, and if you fell on financial hard times, you may not have the money to be able to travel as comfortably as you want to. But it's kind of like you come up with this idea, why not create a living, around traveling? So, I don't know if you're going to think about, being a vlogger with your new lifestyle or something like that, or whatever. But hold on, I got a message. Okay. Hey, Andrew. Thanks, buddy. I don't know who this is from. I haven't ordered anything. Let me go in and I don't know what this is. Oh, I think this is for my books. Oh, this came early. This is not what I expected it to be. I swear, false advertising is a motherfucker. But okay. Alright. Okay. Thanks, Andrew. Okay. So, anyway. What was I saying? Like I said, you might want to create, you come up with this idea. You want to travel, you need a place to stay, or maybe you want to do things differently from how you've been living. You know what I'm saying? So you come up with that idea, but she's not really up for that idea. What's up? So it's kind of like, so even when it comes to like somebody trying to tell you, you already know how you want to do things. This is your life. And you may have lived a certain way for a while. You weren't really completely happy. You may have felt limited or something like that. So the thing is it's like somebody is trying to convince you, oh, we can do it this way, or we can do it that way. We can move here, we can move there. But if that's not what you want to do, then say no. So in the future, you're going to have a situation to where you're going to be called to stick your neck out, which means that you're going to have to rise above in perception, okay? Because you're going to need to be able to see a bigger picture, right? So think of it, when you're in a maze, you're face to face with the maze. So you got to go around feeling and figuring out, how to navigate through the maze. But when it comes to perception, instead of you being in the maze, you are now above it. You see? So now you can see the path. Okay? So what I pick up from that is kind of like you're going to have to like kind of get more in touch with spirit. But it seems like the lifestyle that you want is already pretty much going to put you in that position. Because a lot of the times when we are connecting to God's spirit, our spirit guides, you need to be in isolation. You have to be away from the crowd. You have to be away from other influences. You know, the brain, we're picking up on ideas, so many distractions on a daily, to the point to where you hear all these different thoughts, but you don't hear your voice. So, meditation, okay? So, to me, it seemed like you want a more therapeutic, meditative life. And maybe somebody you was with or you was dealing with, it could be family, it could be a relationship or whatever. You're just not feeling the ways of that anymore. You're feeling more liberated. Okay? I feel like in the future too, you are going to receive help from this outside person who's somewhat going on this journey with you. Now, y'all journeys may look different, to where, physically you are creating the life. Internally, this other person is creating the person. It's like they're creating the character, the person. They're creating the person or the personality or the characteristics to be able to live or exist within your physical creation. You see what I'm saying? So you must be the masculine. You must be the masculine. So you're creating the external and your feminine is creating the internal. So as you're going on this journey with cleaning house and creating a new space and a new life for yourself, your feminine is helping you to prepare to be the person that you need to be in order to fulfill your dreams. Okay? So either she is already there, or so either she's already there and her connecting more so to her is going to be helping you to create your inner world, or you already have it. You just have to externalize it, and she has to develop the character for that lifestyle. You know, for whatever reason, y'all may come together and live together later on, or it could be manifesting to where she manifests the inside, the internal, and she attracts it on the outside. Okay, to where you're creating it on the outside, you're going to be attracting somebody who internally is aligned with what you are creating. Okay, so it's going to work either way. So either the two of you are working towards each other, or the two of you are working to help each other to grow. So it's either this or this. Okay. So okay. So and then when I talked about the birds and the bats, you can see through during the day, right? The feminine sees during the night, which makes sense. Okay. So the two of you are aligned. If you're feeling lost, if people are trying to make you feel crazy, you are where you are supposed to be. What's happening? What's going on? Maybe the questions or the curiosity in which that you have or that you feel right now, this is where you're supposed to be. Somebody, I get this nagging ass feeling It's like somebody is thinking in their head, like what I should be doing with my life and what the fuck I shouldn't be doing with my life. This person is very opinionated and this person is very controlling. And my thing is that I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. And you need to check your mental health. Cause why the fuck are you so worried about what somebody else is doing and what they have going on that has nothing to do with you? You don't run nothing, you don't control nothing over here. You need to worry about your damn self and check in mentally with yourself. I could just, it's like the wheels in their head just turning. They turn long enough, this person gonna start to get frustrated. Then they gonna start to get mad. Then they gonna start feeling like they got a point to prove to me. No, we cut that shit right fucking now. Stop worrying about me. Get out of your head about me. That's whoever is interfering. It's like interference. Somebody's trying to interfere. Like, get the fuck back. Stop fucking with me. So anyway, we're about to get into your unconventional reading. It's annoying because it's like they trying to distract me, disrupt me, disturb me. Put your ass down. Okay, so let's see what you got here. So you have the moon cat. That is a couple, okay? So there's going to be something going on with the moon and cats, okay? So with you being the masculine, it's going to be about the animal, okay? When it comes to the feminine, it's going to be about the moon. So when this woman looks at the moon, she's going to be given insight. It's going to be very synchronistic for her at night and dealing with the moon and the stars. Or just if she goes out and takes a walk at nighttime, she's going to experience some synchronicities, you know, like one time I went out at night and there was a big ass frog, you know, on the sidewalk. There's no fucking frogs out here. So for me to see that big ass frog, it was just like a synchronicity. Then when I was walking, there was a candle. It was a lilac candle, Yankee candle at the bus stop. It never been used. It was just there. This was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So I went to the store. I thought maybe somebody walked away from the bus stop and they was gonna come back for the candle, right? But when I came back, when I came out of the store and I walked past the bus stop, this is when I was working with a mentor. My mentor says that is a gift from me to you. So that is an energetic exchange. However, it didn't come from a body. It was something that I found. Sometimes I find $100 bills, $50 bills on the ground. You see what I'm saying? It's synchronistic. So, you know, with this moon cat card here, you may be seeing a lot of cats or noticing something about cats. Maybe you like cats. Maybe you may get a cat. Okay? So it's going to be the cats, and a cat and moon. So what are some of the allies? What are some other spiritual allies, synchronicities? What do you want to tell us? What do you want to give us? Yeah, back the fuck up. I don't know who the fuck that was. You know, your opinion is not relevant here. You can say what you want to say, think what you want to think. Okay, but you're not going to sit up here and try to force your opinion onto me. I will take what I want and I will leave the rest. I don't give a fuck what you say. I feel like somebody is trying to trigger me or like piss me off or something. Like somebody trying to get some, it's like they trying to get to know me, but they are trying to get some type of reaction out of me because they think that they already know who I am. It's so annoying. I don't even know who the fuck this could be. So anyway, we have, I don't know how to pronounce these crystals, but you got a couple of crystals here. Kunzite, Kunzite, Kunzit, Kunzite, Kunzite, Kunzite. Okay, Ametrine, Ametrine, Ametrine. Okay, so the first one is Kunzite, if you want to look it up, and then the second one is Ametrine, Ametrine. Okay, so okay, So this is definitely masculine because you're working with a lot of tangible things. These things may also be gifts. Somebody may gift you with a cat, okay? Somebody may gift you with crystals, okay? But I mean, these crystals popped up specifically, but if somebody gifts you with crystals, it's okay. So let me see what's going on with these crystals. I don't really work with the crystals. Um, I feel like the relationship between me and the crystals has been kind of, you know, it's like they kind of set their boundaries with me, you know. I don't know. I don't know, but that's the truth. When I first started my journey, I was crazy about crystals, but I would always lose them. It's like they would run away from me. I don't understand why they would do that. Okay, so the kunzite, okay, is going to represent I allow myself to experience joy. Okay, so that crystal is going to help assist you with what does happiness feel like to you, regardless of what it looks like. How does it feel? Now, I'm not talking about no fucked up shit. I'm not talking about no sick ass motherfucker to where it's just like, oh, feed it up. I was just like, what is he just pacing and just I forgot it's his time to eat. I forgot what I was saying though. But oh, but I told you what is joy and happiness to you. So where's the other one? I am greater than my habits. Okay, um so there may be some unhealthy habits. I mean, we already determined that though. So patterns, once you purge, you're gonna be ready. Okay, if everything feels like a burden, everything feels heavy, everything feels unsure, because you have some purging to do, and that will come when it's time. Okay, so I'm gonna do the big pussy energy. Should we do that one for the feminine energy? And if you're in a relationship, you may have to separate from somebody, so the two of you can work on who you need to be in order to prepare for this new life. Okay, I don't honestly feel that. I feel like it's just you, but you know, if you want your partner, I don't want you thinking like, oh, it's a sign that me and my partner are not supposed to be together. Well, you have to discern that, but something has happened. Or when it comes to you and your family, bless you. Okay, so we have big pussy journal prompt. So journaling is going to be important, big erotic energy. So this talks about meditation, and it also talks about journaling too. So for the feminine energy, it sounds like needing to work on your mental health. Okay, so a way that the universe wants to guide you to do this is through writing, through journaling. Okay, you might want to get a dream journal, record your dreams. You might want to get, you just may want to start writing just certain things that's on your mind. Maybe you want to get creative and make a story or something. Okay, but this has a lot to do with creativity, you know so what the masculine is doing, it's like he's being catalytic to your creativity. Okay, and I feel like you are being catalytic to his mental, his spiritual, and his emotional, wellness, right? So I just see two people in two different places, and I just see it coming together. That's what I see. You know, it could be so many ways. I don't know, honey. Because it could be you and your twin trying to do this. Like I said, the two of you could be working together to manifest things within y'all's lives. You could be dealing with a relationship or maybe even a family member to where, you know, y'all have to work together. It's about teamwork. You know what I mean? So one person is going to be focused on putting the environment together, and then the other person is going to be focused and responsible for being catalytic for the mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness of the both of them. Okay, so let's get into this tarot. What are the messages? You ate all your food. You must have been hungry. He been acting kind of bougie lately. You know, he like his food a certain way. And if you don't cook it the way that he like it, he gonna bark. He gonna fuss. You know, he gonna show you. You gonna know that you ain't shit for not fixing his food the way he want to fix. Goddamn no. Okay. Okay, so look at this. In the position of the crown, we're starting off with the temperance, right? So you know you are an earth angel. You know that, I think that you know that you have a temper. And then at the same time, you may have some challenging situations dealing with sobriety. Okay. You know, what I realize is that one way that earth angels try to cope with the very denseness of the atmosphere is, is through addictions or vices. You know, it is what it is. But then you have some people, you have some earth angels to where, they just, it's usually individuals who are on, that I've noticed, this is just my observation, they're on like the spectrum. So, they don't do drinking or they don't do smoking, they don't do no drugs, but they have this harmony within them. Okay, there may be something here about reconciliation too. Okay, that may be on your mind. Maybe that somebody is an earth angel and you're thinking about that person, but with the temperance in the position of the crown, you are aligned. You are in alignment with you, your higher self, with another kindred spirit, with God. You are one with the universe. Your chakras is booming, you know? So you're very transparent at this time, and you are tempered. You forgive someone, or maybe somebody forgives you, okay? So what do we have here? So we have some reversals, but this is the past, okay? So you have the Eight of Cups, and then you have the Knight of Wands, right? So whatever you're distancing yourself from toxic people, this is a community, it could be a family, it could be a group of people, it's a group, you're turning your back, on you're turning your back on a toxic community or a toxic space or a toxic place. Okay, you're willing to deal with people now from a distance. You have this detachment because you're very forgiving. So you don't hold a grudge, you don't have any hard feelings, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I'm unbothered. This community of people, this family of people, you guys are very bothered, and you care about the wrong shit and the stupid shit, and I feel caged. It's caging me in. I'm not meant to be caged. So I'm moving on. You can think what you want to think. You can feel how you want to feel, but I'm not going to be bothered by what you say or what you think. I'm going to take my space. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to get more so into me. There's something here about music too. So maybe, well, the twin flames communicate through music. Okay. But at the same time, music could be something to where it's going to help you. It's an emotional influence over you. So maybe you're even changing up the type of music that you listen to. With you ascending, it kind of feels like you hear things differently now. With the earth angel, with the temperance here, the frequency has gone up, right? So when it comes to my music, because I am channeling with the angels, however the shit come out is however it come out. There are individuals who are gifted and talented with hearing. So regardless of however the music comes out, they can hear what's really being said, right? Because not only are my spirit guides speaking through me, but individuals who hear my spirit guides are speaking to them too. So there are certain pitches and tones that when it's not off or when it doesn't get cut, you cannot hear what's being channeled to you. And see, people who, like I said, people who are gifted, people who know, they know. When you know, you know. Just like with a dog whistler, right? When you blow the whistle, it sounds one way to you because you're a human, right? But when it comes to the dog hears the whistle differently. So we got a lot of things going on here with like animals and shit, you know. So, you know, so I just kind of feel like your hearing, you don't just hear things, you hear through things. You can hear the loud thoughts of people around you, you know. So if you were dealing with toxic people, it may have been driving you crazy because you see one thing coming out of their mouth, but you're disturbed mentally by something else that you're picking up from them, but you can't understand. This is why you have to take your space and your time away to hear your voice. Okay, right, like I had said before. So you do have an angel around you, and this angel did music when they were here. It could be a family member, or it could be somebody who's well known or famous. You know, I pick up maybe you used to do music with somebody, maybe they passed away. You know what I'm saying? That could be this person too. Okay? When it comes to the Knight of Wands, whatever it is that you're doing, you know, you're excited about it. You're optimistic, you're enthusiastic about it. You know, you're pretty excited. So at the same time, the Knight of Wands has a tendency to move very fast. Okay? He moves very fast. So be careful, because you know, I pick up that you're going to be receiving ideas from certain things that you're seeing. But what you need to remember is that even though somebody may show you something and it looks simple, when you go in to do it for yourself, you're going to notice how it's not that simple. You know what I'm saying? So the Knight of Wands is kind of like he be trying to like throw shit together, but in a certain situation, it's going to call for you to be patient, but you already know that. You may see 1111 a lot too. Okay, so 1111 is reminding you a new world is being opened up to you, a new consciousness, a new gate, a new, you know, you're walking through. It's a whole new world. So be patient. You already know to be patient. But I feel like within your body, you know, you want to do things fast. So if you're hammering stuff and if you're screwing stuff, you're noticing how you're hammering shit like too hard, you know. You hammering through shit, you know. And it's kind of like you got experience with a hammer, you know. And the point is that people make shit look easy, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. So when it comes to ideas, you know, make sure that, you know, your ideas are yours and it's what you want. But you can still try, you know, you can still try other people's ideas. But I just kind of feel like you're going to be wasting your time with doing that. You know what I'm saying? I remember me and my little sister, we did a sip and paint, right? And the only thing that we needed was easels. I didn't have the money to get the easels, and there wasn't enough time to get like 12 easels within 24 hours. So my sister, she had looked up on YouTube how to put them together. So she tried to show me and my sister, but that's when she realized, like, bruh, this shit is not going to be as easy as I thought it was. And the individuals on YouTube made it seem like, you know, they made it look easy. So when we had to go in and improvise with putting the easels together, you know, that idea did not work. So, you know, we had to improvise. But we ended up improvising and we made it happen. You know, like the easels was sturdy, nothing broke. It lasted us, you know, throughout the session. So, you know, something like that. Okay. But I mean, that's all that I'm picking up for now. Okay. So until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.